In 2020, the World Economic Forum, WEF, introduced the concept of the Great Reset in response to the significant global crises triggered by the COVID-19 pandemic, accelerating climate challenges, and rapid technological disruptions that were beginning to reshape industries and societies. This bold initiative was conceived as a way to address the deep-rooted problems that had been exacerbated by these global events. The proposed plan calls for a comprehensive and transformative restructuring of economic, social, and environmental systems worldwide, with the ultimate goal of creating a more sustainable, equitable, and resilient world for future generations. Far from being a mere conspiracy theory, the Great Reset represents a thoughtful and strategic initiative that aims to overhaul traditional capitalism, shifting the focus from short-term profits to long-term sustainability and social well-being. The proposal recognizes that the current economic system, built largely on principles of unchecked growth and consumerism, is not only unsustainable, but also detrimental to both the planet and its inhabitants. However, the initiative has sparked significant debate. Some supporters see it as a much-needed solution to the crises we face, while others are concerned about its ambitious goals and the potential for unintended consequences, particularly in terms of individual freedoms and the perpetuation of inequalities. The Great Reset is built on three key pillars, each designed to address a specific aspect of the global crisis. The first pillar focuses on the need to restructure the global economy, moving away from models that depend heavily on fossil fuels, deforestation, and environmental degradation. This involves adopting a new economic model that prioritizes sustainability, social equality, and corporate responsibility. The aim is to create a system where economic growth is decoupled from environmental harm, and where wealth and opportunities are more equally distributed across all segments of society. This includes promoting a transition to a greener economy that embraces renewable energy, green jobs, and sustainable industries, while moving away from traditional consumption and production models that have long been the root cause of irreversible environmental damage. The second pillar is the reimagination of capitalism itself. Traditional capitalism in its current form has often been centered around maximizing profits at any cost, regardless of environmental or social impact. The Great Reset proposes a new version of capitalism, one that shifts the focus from profit maximization to creating value not only for shareholders, but for society at large. This involves adopting business practices that take into account the social and environmental consequences of corporate actions, encouraging companies to integrate environmental, social, and governance (ESG) criteria into their operations. The goal is to establish a more inclusive and ethical capitalist system, where companies thrive not only by making money, but also by contributing positively to the communities they serve and the planet as a whole. The third pillar is the acceleration of digital transformation. Technological innovation, particularly in the fields of artificial intelligence, AI, automation, and data, is at the heart of the Great Reset. The COVID-19 pandemic revealed the vast potential of digital technologies to transform the way we live and work, and the proposal seeks to further harness these technologies for societal benefit. By leveraging AI, automation, and the data economy, the Great Reset envisions a future where industries become more efficient, production processes are optimized, and new, innovative solutions are developed to address pressing global challenges. Digital transformation is seen as a catalyst for broader social and economic change, allowing for more personalized education, enhanced healthcare, and new forms of work that are more flexible and inclusive. One of the central elements of the Great Reset is the urgent need to address climate change. With increasing temperatures, rising sea levels, and extreme weather events becoming more frequent, the transition to clean, renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and hydroelectric power is critical. The plan advocates for large-scale investments in renewable energy infrastructure, including the creation of smart grids, energy-efficient buildings, and electric vehicle fleets. It also calls for the development of zero-emission cities, where clean energy is used in all aspects of urban life, from transportation to waste management. These efforts are designed to reduce carbon emissions to levels that align with international climate agreements, such as the Paris Agreement, and to meet global sustainability targets. The digital revolution is also viewed as a driving force for social progress. Technologies like 5G, blockchain, and AI are already beginning to transform key sectors such as healthcare, education, and employment. The pandemic has accelerated the adoption of remote work, which has reshaped the traditional workforce and created new opportunities for global collaboration. The Great Reset envisions the continued expansion of these technologies, including the widespread use of online education platforms, the implementation of augmented and virtual reality tools in professional settings, and the growth of decentralized financial systems. By fostering greater access to digital tools and services, the initiative aims to bridge the digital divide and ensure that more people can participate in the global economy. To combat social inequalities, the Great Reset proposes economic reforms that include expanding access to education and healthcare for all, as well as introducing policies that address income inequality. One key proposal is the implementation of a universal basic income UBI, which would provide a safety net for vulnerable populations and help reduce poverty. The plan also emphasizes the importance of fair labor practices, with an emphasis on improving working conditions and ensuring equal opportunities for all, regardless of gender, race, or background. Promoting gender equality and diversity within organizations is another important element of the plan, as well as advancing social justice through legal reforms and social policies that ensure equal treatment for everyone. The reform of traditional capitalism is one of the most ambitious aspects of the Great Reset. This involves encouraging companies to adopt responsible practices and to make decisions based on long-term value creation rather than short-term profit maximization. The idea is to integrate ESG, environmental, social, and governance metrics into corporate strategies, ensuring that companies align their business models with the broader goal of social and environmental responsibility. Key examples include promoting investments in green sectors, such as renewable energy and sustainable agriculture, implementing progressive taxation on large corporations, and introducing policies that incentivize companies to adopt sustainable practices and reduce their environmental impact. Addressing global crises requires coordinated action from governments, international organizations, and the private sector. The Great Reset advocates for global cooperation on critical issues such as AI regulation, climate agreements, and public health policies. Multilateral agreements to regulate emerging technologies, such as AI, are necessary to ensure that their development and deployment are aligned with ethical standards and human rights. Similarly, global health policies aimed at preparing for future pandemics are essential to safeguard public health and prevent future global health crises. Additionally, international collaboration in research and development of sustainable technologies will be crucial in achieving the global sustainability goals outlined by the Great Reset. While the Great Reset offers a vision for a fairer and more sustainable future, critics have raised significant concerns. Many worry that the plan could lead to an undue concentration of power in the hands of global institutions and large corporations, undermining national sovereignty and democratic governance. The rise of digital surveillance technologies also raises fears of a loss of privacy and individual autonomy, with the potential for governments and corporations to track citizens' activities and behavior. Moreover, there is concern that the shift towards a digital economy could exacerbate existing inequalities, leaving marginalized communities behind due to limited access to technology and digital infrastructure. If fully implemented, the Great Reset could transform many aspects of daily life. In the workforce, digital professions are expected to become more prominent, while manual labor jobs will increasingly be automated through AI and robotics. Remote work is likely to become the norm for many industries, offering employees greater flexibility and autonomy. Consumer behavior will be increasingly shaped by sustainability values, with a focus on the circular economy, where products and resources are reused and recycled to minimize waste. The financial system will also undergo significant changes, with the widespread adoption of government-backed digital currencies, CBDCs, that will facilitate new transaction methods and promote responsible consumption. Education will be transformed, with an emphasis on digital learning platforms that empower individuals to acquire new skills and ensure equal access to quality education for all. The Great Reset represents a bold and transformative vision for the future, one that seeks to address global challenges such as the climate crisis, economic inequality, and technological disruption. Supporters believe that it holds the potential to create a more sustainable and equitable world, where economic growth is aligned with social and environmental well-being. However, critics warn that the implementation of such a vision could lead to a concentration of power and influence, undermining democracy and individual freedoms. The shift to a highly digitalized economy could also leave vulnerable communities behind, exacerbating existing inequalities. Ultimately, the Great Reset challenges traditional paradigms and calls for a rethinking of the systems that govern our societies. Its success will depend on the choices made by governments, businesses, and individuals in the coming years. It remains to be seen whether the Great Reset will be the solution to our global challenges or a step toward new problems. The future of our world is still uncertain, and it is up to all of us to determine how we respond to the. We consider the potential impacts of the Great Reset. It is essential to reflect on the kind of world we are moving toward. This is not just about technological advancements or economic restructuring. It's about a complete shift in how we perceive growth, success, and sustainability. For example, moving away from fossil fuels toward renewable energy sources like solar and wind not only addresses climate change, but also creates new job opportunities in green sectors. This change is already happening with initiatives like the Green New Deal in various countries, which aims to invest in clean energy, infrastructure, and sustainable technologies. The goal is to build a future where environmental sustainability and economic prosperity can coexist harmoniously. However, the transition to this new world comes with its own set of challenges. One of the most significant concerns is how to balance the digital transformation with the need for privacy and individual freedoms. With the rise of AI, automation, and the increasing use of data in decision-making, questions about surveillance, data security, and personal autonomy are becoming more pressing. For example, the widespread implementation of smart cities and AI-driven policies could mean that personal data is constantly monitored and analyzed, which could lead to a loss of privacy if not carefully regulated. On the other hand, the benefits of these technologies, such as improved healthcare, education, and urban planning, could transform society for the better if handled responsibly. As we think about the Great Reset, we must also consider the impact on social inequalities. While the plan envisions a more equitable society through reforms like universal basic income, UBI, and better access to education, it's important to recognize that the digital divide could exacerbate existing disparities. People in rural areas or developing countries may not have access to the same technological resources as those in urban centers or wealthier nations, making it harder for them to participate in the new economy. For example, the shift to remote work and online education might leave out those who don't have reliable internet access or the necessary skills to adapt to digital platforms. It's crucial that the Great Reset includes strategies to bridge this digital gap to ensure that no one is left behind. The question we must ask ourselves is, are we ready for this transformation? And are we prepared to address the inherent risks? Will we embrace the technological innovations that could improve our lives? Or will we allow fear of the unknown to limit our progress? The Great Reset calls for bold action and global cooperation, but it also requires us to be vigilant in ensuring that the solutions we implement are inclusive, just, and sustainable. The future is full of potential, but it is up to each of us to shape it through informed choices, collaboration, and responsibility. As we navigate the challenges and opportunities ahead, it's crucial to engage in thoughtful discussions about what kind of world we want to create. Will the Great Reset provide a sustainable and fair solution to the crises we face, or will it give rise to new inequalities and power imbalances? The answers will come from the choices we make as individuals, businesses, and governments. Let's not sit idly by. The time to act is now. Share your thoughts on this transformative concept in the comments below, and let's continue this conversation together. By expanding on the potential implications of the Great Reset with concrete examples, challenges, and the need for active participation, this extended reflection encourages readers to engage and think critically about the topic. It also serves as a call to action for them to share their views and subscribe for more content.